Welcome to this presentation on multiliteracies and multimodality for special education teachers. Literacy has always been a reflection of the cultural context of the time. In the 21st century, literacy is influenced by the speed of information, the ease of sharing, and the globality of society. Since the information revolution, the communication techniques of our students have altered significantly. This presentation will draw on research from the New London Group on multiliteracies and multimodality, exploring the impacts of shifting literacies on our adolescent students, and contextualising pedagogical theories to enhance teaching and learning practice in the special education department. Literacy as an ever-evolving concept. The technologisation of communication has altered our definitions of literacy in a plethora of complexly interconnected ways. Literacy is no longer a linear concept. Rather, it combines multimodal and multiliterate forms and practices. The idea of traditional literacy once included print-based texts and sequential reading and writing concepts. The 3 R's were once the cornerstones of literacy education: reading, writing, and arithmetic. So how has this definition altered? Well, now, in order to classify someone as literate in the contemporary world, a person must be capable of creating and interpreting oral, visual, audio, gestural, tactical, and spatial patterns of meaning. But what about this term multiliteracies? The term multiliteracies was developed by the New London Group and refers to the multiplicity of how literacy exists. The term considers the range of literacies and literate and social practices, the range of technologies used, different modes and forms of literacy, differing interpretations of texts, and the context of culture and diversity, global interconnectedness, and the links between text, practice, and knowledge. For a student to be literate, they must be able to process and simultaneously comprehend combinations of image, sound, text, and gesture in a range of texts, print, media, and digital across a variety of contexts. But how does this new definition of literacies impact adolescents? And why is this so important? Because the ever-evolving nature of literacies in our society mean that the future is unknown for our students. The jobs they will be doing or studying for in the future may not yet exist and cannot even be imagined by the teachers in charge of preparing them for this future. Statistics show that over 88% of students access the internet on a regular basis, and more than 70% of students are regular posters to social media. They are inadvertently becoming the producers of their own multimodal texts through instruments like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. But to be prepared for the future, students need to be imbued with the confidence to face future challenges in a constantly challenging, changing, and delicately dynamic world. Teachers must stay abreast of new technologies, nurturing their own literacies, and utilising human elements of teaching and pedagogy to encourage adaptability and flexibility in their students. But how do we as teachers evolve our practice to meet the ever-evolving literacies facing our students? Traditional literacy pedagogies were sequential and linear, focusing on written texts and the reading and reproduction of these texts. One of the challenges facing our teachers in evolving to meet the demands of multiliteracies is their relative inexperience dealing with technology and multimodal forms of text. Premsky coined the terms digital native and digital immigrant to differentiate between those born before and those born after the information revolution. Belshaw described a continuum of digital literacy which we all fall onto. Our students are digital natives. Most of our teachers are digital immigrants. Changing our pedagogical methods is a concept hard to grapple with. However, maintaining humanity, adaptability, and flexibility will allow us to develop our practice to meet the demands of contemporary society and get the best outcomes from our students. In the context of our special education department, over 60% of our students fall somewhere on the autism spectrum. 12% of our students have an acquired brain injury, resulting in moderate to significant disability. And all of our students have learning disabilities with functional IQs ranging between just below 70 to just over 90. That's where this can become so contextually interesting. Our students generally have lower traditional literacy skills and struggle to learn these skills. However, their placement on the digital literacy continuum often exceeds ours as their teachers. Incorporating multimodal multiliteracies into our classrooms is beneficial for all of our students. For example, Andrew is 19 years old. He's repeating his Year 8 equivalent because of the challenges brought about by his autism diagnosis. Andrew's autism is moderate, with his social skills obviously impaired. His concrete thinking and lack of social awareness make him a prime student for slipping through the cracks. However, Andrew loves Apple products, iPads and iPhones, iMacs and Apple Watches. He's fascinated by them. And he can use all of them in their multiplicity and multimodality. He has no trouble communicating utilising these multimodal methods. But writing on a piece of paper? Forget it. Andrew is enabled and his autism is minimised by the inclusion of multimodal literacies in our pedagogies. And he is not alone in our cohort. Many of our students are active producers of their own text materials. They are just beyond our range of classroom experience because we may find it challenging to adapt at the same rate as our students. Ultimately, the combination of graphic, spatial, visual, oral and textual literacies meets the tactile and kinesthetic learning requirements of our special education students. It is through our own knowledge of the multiliteracies framework and the multimodality of writing that we can begin to alter our pedagogical practices to best enable our students, enhance their communication abilities and prepare them for the future.